All right, let's get straight into our debate. We're raising the question tonight based on the latest that has come of the revelations made by Abu Jindal, the 2611 handler, whether Jindal's new confessions reveal or prove that Pakistan is a terror state. We have an eminent panel with us tonight. We have Sushant Sareen and Bharat Karnat, both well-known strategic experts. We also have Mr. Vijay Darda. He's a Rajya Sabha member of the Congress party. We have Dr. Sambit Patra with the BJP. He's the spokesperson in Delhi unit. And we are also joined on the phone line by Mr. Naeemul Haq. He's the spokesperson of the Tehreek-e-Insaf party in Pakistan. First, to you, Mr. Darda, why doesn't India raise this matter internationally that Pakistan should be dubbed a terror state?
See, we all...
That the Pakistani government can have a bit of a lease of life because it doesn't have any control over its agencies.
Absolutely.
Let me go with that to Mr. Naeemul Haq. Mr. Haq, if you would like to speak for the Pakistani government, if I could ask you to do that, what would you like to say? That is Pakistan a state which has no control over certain rogue elements which are there in its armed forces, because of which, of course, Pakistan runs the risk of being dubbed a terror state?
I don't think that there are any rogue elements in Pakistan's armed forces at all. On the contrary, I think there are...
On that, Mr. Karnat, do you feel that Mr. Naeemul Haq is making a strong point, which, of course, gives Pakistan some kind of elbow room as far as acting against its state actors that India has also been now insisting on, that Pakistan has been saying that there is, of course, no proof of that at all?
Well, look, I think the Pakistani policy...
Sushant Sareen, if I could come to you then, because it then becomes incumbent on India to prove categorically that there are state actors involved. Do you feel in that India has not been able to do enough, which is why Pakistan time and again says that there isn't enough evidence as far as 2611 and all the claims that India is making about state actors is concerned? Even the Judicial Commission, the report that was submitted in court has been declared illegal by the court now.
Look, let me just first come to what Mr.
The opportunity to Mr. Naeemul Haq to respond to what you said,
one more thing.
That he and his party have been hobnobbing with the radicals there in Pakistan, which is why it's not perhaps right to give them the kind of stage that we have. But Mr. Haq, how would you like to then really explain this sort of duplicity that is there? Well, not just in political parties, but even the Pakistan's government, that it talks peace on one hand and then it doesn't really act on what India has been asking for as far as justice in 2611 is concerned. That is still pending.
Let me completely...
The whole problem is that Pakistan...
the state which is involved.
That Pakistan is not willing to accept all that India has been giving it in terms of even dossiers in the past. And now, of course, not even a dossier has been given after Abu Jindal has been caught. Information has been shared to which Pakistan has offered joint investigations. Mr. Haq, do you feel that this sort of an offer is not serious at all, because India has not taken it up with Pakistan, the issue of joint investigation, and thereby Pakistan's entire stand lies exposed? That Pakistan is willing to give so little ground in terms of one specific demand that India has, justice in the 2611 case. India keeps on doing something or the other which Pakistan needs, which Pakistan wants, renewing cricketing ties. And we have with us, in fact, Sambit Patra of the BJP with us. Mr. Patra, what is your stand on this renewing of ties? Your party is opposing it. It feels that Pakistan hasn't done enough to deserve this, really.
Mr. Gautam, I would like to begin by saying with the fact that it's not for the first time that the renewal of the ties of cricketing between the two countries has started. Let me go to the history of cricketing ties between both the countries. 1961 to 71, almost for 17 years, we had no cricket ties, and then in fact 89 to 99, for 10 years we had no cricket ties, and from 99 to 2004, Kargil War prevented the ties, and then 2007, I remember, November 2007 was the last cricketing game between both the countries. 2008 till date we had no ties, and then suddenly it is announced that this December we would be renewing our ties. My question is, would renewing cricket ties bring about combation to terrorism? Will it in fact fill the gaps which terrorism have created? Just ask the person who has lost his father, who has lost his mother in the 26/11 attack, if he or she feels that cricketing would in fact bring about some kind of solace to his or her heart. I would say that yes, cricketing should be the ways and means of winning the hearts of Indian and Pakistani people. But if then the answer is obvious.
Let me put that to Mr. Darda. Mr. Darda, would you like to respond? Also keeping in mind that the last time India and Pakistan had cricketing ties and matches were played on Indian soil, almost 5,000 people from Pakistan had come, and even till now, 14, that's the figure, 14 remain untraced.
See, you must understand one thing. Pakistan.
Go across to Mr. Karnad once again. Mr. Karnad, since there's an argument, a certain argument that Mr. Darda is making, that Pakistan perhaps now exists at several levels where sometimes the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing, and it's difficult to pinpoint who's really responsible for the kind of state of affairs that Pakistan is in, and because of which terror is being fomented here across the border. Is it a plausible policy for India to then go in for something like what Israel has done in order to eliminate terror masterminds across the border?
Well, look, the first things first, let's just sort of rewind a bit.
Do you agree with what Mr. Karnad is advocating, really, to get around somehow this entire mental block of no action on 26/11 and move forward?
No, actually, in fact, I agree with Mr. Khanna to a lot extent, because remember, it was our stalworthy leader, Mr. Bajpayee, who for the first time as a Prime Minister went to Pakistan with her bus and in fact invited them to embrace peace. It was a great gesture which even history remembers.
But then he was stabbed in the back.
No, we never stabbed him in the back. He was invited to Agra.
He was stabbed in the back by Pervez Musharraf.
He stabbed, yes, very true. He was stabbed in the back, and that was the extent to which BJP wanted to buy peace with Pakistan. But alas, it is not for the first time. Time and again, Pakistan has been stabbing us at the back, and 3 wars have been the result of the backstabbing. So I don't know to what extent we should be giving them this chance and this hope to revive the relationship.
So can India then seize the initiative? So Shant Sareen, I'd like your response on that. Targeted assassinations like the Israelis have done in the case of terror masterminds.
No, we can't. We can't because we haven't developed the capabilities.
Who is speaking for the government here, since he represents the Congress party. Mr. Darda, clearly this is not happening. The way India is approaching this entire issue with Pakistan, things are not moving forward either on 26/11 or improvement of ties, except for cricket, which we seem to be renewing after 5 years. But clearly another sort of an approach is required. What is there really in the government's mind here?
No, see, I don't think that they are not progressing.
You don't know what your people
really
want,
helpless.
you know what Pakistanis want.
All right, so India is helpless.
No, not India is helpless. I said Pakistan is helpless.
Oh, Pakistan,
India is not helpless.
Pakistan is helpless, and it seems
India
that
is not helpless, and that is the reason you see, ultimately, we've been having a dialogue with the Pakistan. We'll have to dialogue with them in Pakistan.
All right.
But
So
their government must be very strong.
okay,
They are himself is a fix there. That is the whole issue.
clearly the burden of expectations from the Indian government is on Pakistan, and it's just the reverse where Pakistan is concerned, which is where this entire issue is still hanging fire. It's not been resolved for all these decades, and it's quite far from being resolved. All the outstanding issues between India and Pakistan as well, and of course 26/11 added its own twist to this mix. We'll have to leave it there, gentlemen, completely out of time. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on News X at 9. All the news and updates will continue here on News X. Do stay tuned.